Hi, this is Dave Kahle, and welcome to this podcast. Today I'm talking about prayer, building prayer into your business. Now, one of the characteristics that distinguishes a biblical business from its competitors is the degree to which the executive of biblical businesses embed prayer into the fabric of the business. Now, for a lot of Christian business people, this is an uncomfortable thought. You know, we've been led to believe that prayer has no place in the business world. That idea may simplify their positions and absolve them, at least in their own minds, of responsibility. However, there is no support for it in Scripture nor in the practices of successful contemporary business people. Both of those sources, the Bible and contemporary successful business people, both of those sources overwhelmingly support the case for an active, intentional, and disciplined approach to prayer and business. You may recall this passage in Philippians 4 and 6. Let me read it. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Now, there is no limitation to that passage. There's no exception made for businesses. It doesn't say, do not be anxious about anything except in your business. Nope. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Businesses present us with a continuous daily stream of things we could be anxious about, of decisions and risks that carry significant consequences and rewards. Should we hire this person or that one? Should we quote this price or a higher one? Should we invest in this relationship? Should we pursue this customer? Should we give this person additional responsibilities? Should we extend terms to this customer? On and on it goes. The list of decisions and risks never ends. And that is exactly as it should be. In the good book on business, I make the case that God established business as the primary venue for him to build faith, develop character, and bless mankind. That continuous stream of decisions, relationships, and investments that come with owning or running a business is designed by God, intended by him to drive us to him. He wants to bless our business and draw us closer to him. And the way he does that is to allow a continuous stream of decisions, challenges, and opportunities in our businesses to prompt us to turn to him. And prayer, then, is the mechanism he uses to interact with us and become more involved in our businesses and our lives. So the question for a business person who wants to have a blessed business and lead a fulfilled life, that question is not, should I bring prayer into the business? The answer is, of course. How could you have a Christian business without prayer? The question should be, how do I embed prayer into the fabric of my business? Now here's some proven ideas for the practices of other Christian businesses. Number one, establish disciplines and practices to pray for the business. Now that means it begins with you. Begin like so many Christian professionals and executives do, with a daily time of prayer in which you lift up that day's challenges, interactions, and opportunities. Then add in other key people in your organization. So start with you first. Then find others in your company who share your faith and invite them to pray with you regularly and methodically as you pray for the business. For years, my customer service manager and I would meet together. We'd come in on Monday morning early. We'd meet together at 7:45 on Monday morning to just lift up the week's activities and concerns. Now, other business people organize a weekly time of prayer, invite folks in their organizations to join with them. Again, I would meet with my customer service manager, a man of faith, at 7:45 every Monday. Others do it during the week. a time when it's more convenient for some of their people. When big and important decisions are pending, think about organizing a prayer session specifically for those issues. So, a special time to seek the Lord's involvement in the big decisions you must make. Consider organizing a prayer team. Now, this is a group of committed prayer warriors who regularly intercede on behalf of the business. I have a team of 6 people who each pray for the business on one day each week. So one prays on Monday, another on Tuesday, etc. Every Saturday morning, I send an email describing the previous week's progress and the issues facing us in the coming week. So I know that on every day of the week there is someone praying for the business that day. Consider also having a paid relationship with someone who will intercede to God on behalf of your business. For years, I had such a relationship. At first, it was an individual who was gifted as a prayer warrior. And later, I contracted with an organization whose business it was to intercede for its clients on a weekly basis. You could do that too. So number 1, add disciplines and practices to make prayer a part of your business. Number 2, make prayer an element of your relationships with your employees, your customers, and your vendors. Imagine what would happen if you would ask, every time you talk with one of your employees, if you would ask, is there anything for which you could pray on their behalf? Now, that's exactly what one of my clients and a CEO of a 100 employee manufacturing company does to start every day. He walks the floor, he talks with as many employees as he can, and he always asks them if he can pray for them in any way. Now, people often come into his office and ask him to pray for issues in their lives. Another client CEO keeps index cards on each of his employees and compiles notes on the discussions he's had with each of them and items for which to pray. He prays and views those notes, a certain number of those every day. He just keeps rotating them, noting his prayers on the card. Now, over a period of a couple of weeks, every employee is prayed for by the head of that business. Here's another idea. Seek in your prayers to advance from petition to conversation. Now, in the Good Book on Business, I point out that God established business as the place where he will interact with us and work with us. He wants to use your business as the venue in which he grows you closer to him. When we're new and immature in our faith, we often see God as some sort of supernatural vending machine. We put in our prayers and get specific things back. Later, as we grow in our faith, we begin to see that prayer is two-way communication in which God communicates with us. Not only does he provide answers to our prayers, and sometimes answers which we don't like, but he also communicates his agenda to us. So this ability to hear God and recognize his communication through a variety of means is a higher order spiritual skill. It takes time and work to develop your prayer life to the level of two-way communication, but it's worth it, not only for you, but for the benefit of that business. Prayer in a biblical business is the mechanism that invites God into the business and makes him the general partner. It requires a bit of faith and a bit of risk to begin. And it requires a heavy dose of commitment and discipline to continue. It is both commanded by the scriptures and evidenced as a best practice by Christian businesses worldwide. I just don't think you can approach the potential, you can come close to realizing the potential of your business and your life without a deep, active, methodical, disciplined prayer life.